buck. Look at this, baby. First day of the season. Look at this buck! Oh man, I can't believe how big this buck is.
For sportsmen, by sportsmen, Hunter Specialties.
Matt Morrett now steps up to the plate, and he digs in. Morrett batting .286 against left-handers. The infield's going to play him in, try to cut the runoff at the plate here with only one down. The bases are jammed. Osceola on third, Rio, the runner, on second, and Eastern takes a couple of steps off first. The outfield playing straight away. Lefty Woods toes the rubber. He's elected to pitch from the windup here with the bases loaded. He wheels and deals high for a ball, ball one. This inning started off with a strikeout, but then singles to Osceola and Rio, then a walk to Eastern has loaded things up here for Lefty Woods and the Merriams. Here's the 1-0. Hit swung on and hit deep out into left field. Back goes Wilson. Back. It's a home run. Grand slam for Morrett.
If you ever wanted to learn about hunting the Grand Slam of wild turkeys, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Matt Morrett, and welcome to HS Strut's Cutt'N and Strutt'N through spring. For the next 60 minutes, travel with me to swampy Central Florida where we go after those elusive Osceolas. Then on to the western deserts of Texas where we take a beautiful white-tipped Rio Grande. On up to the rolling hills of North Missouri where I harvest a giant eastern gobbler. And I'm going to finish it up on the rolling prairies of South Dakota when I go after the Merriams. Throughout this video, we're going to cover all the tricks, tips, and tactics we use to harvest the Grand Slam. We're going to talk about new calls, new camouflage. Hey, we've got it all. So let's go cutting and strutting through spring. Now let's go down to my good friend in Central Florida, Jim Conley.
You know, here in Florida, we have a unique turkey. It's the Osceola turkey. It's only unique in the fact that it probably has the smallest population in numbers of any turkey in the United States, somewhere between 65 and 75,000. And even that, it only inhabits probably a half of their state, from Jacksonville to the Swanee River and south on down just past Lake Okeechobee. So there isn't a whole lot of area to hunt the Osceola turkey. I noticed on our decoy today, to give you an idea just what the coloration is, and we're using feather flex. That seems to be one of their better decoys for us because we can fold it up and put it away. But the wing patches that you see here are bright, And this is characteristic of the eastern turkeys. The Osceola, you'd never see this in a hen. The Osceola's hen wing is much, much darker than this. In fact, it's just a light tan. The Osceola in size is somewhat smaller than all the other subspecies. It'll average somewhere between 15 and 17 pounds at maturity during the spring. Now that's after he has been strutting for quite a while during the spring. In the fall months, he could get up to 18, 19 pounds. The turkey itself, basically in the spring, inhabits the open pastures mostly. That's where they like to go and strut, draw out the hens from the heavy woods, and that's the way we were hunting today here. The heavy woods right now probably full of turkeys, and they move out in the morning and feed on the pastures and also strut and gather their hens, and then later on in the mornings they move back in. The cypress swamps are one of the major inhabitants where they go in the fall, and also roost in those areas during the spring. They like to be around water. Water's an important part. In a lot of cases, you'll hear the turkeys walking in water as they come to the call. The Osceola is probably the most prized turkey of all, and one of the things that I think is the real prize is the length of his spurs. The Osceola is not in much rocky country here. It's a lot of sand and mud, and they can grow some enormous spurs with real sharp points. On the average, I realize that there's a lot of easterns that probably have outdone him as far as spur length goes, but our turkeys, a year-old turkey can have 1 1/8 to 1 1/4 spur. At the end of 3 years to 4 years, he can be up to 1 1/2 inches, and that's pretty uncommon for most other subspecies.
That was a tree call of a hen. That's the call that really gets those Osceolas going, letting those birds know exactly where you're at. After that, I hit them with a fly-down cackle. This triple glass call gives you great volume control. What it does, it lets you call real soft or real loud and aggressive to penetrate some of these brushy areas like you see behind me. Hunting in the field, sometimes you're calling to these birds from 300 to 500 yards away. Calls like real aggressive cutting and yelping. As those birds come in a little closer, you might want to soften your calling down again. Give them some real subtle clucks and purrs. That's the call that brings them in those last few yards. This triple glass, the volume control is very easy to master. All you have to do is lighten or give it more pressure to get the call louder.
Because woods are so flat here, and our pastures so flat, it's very difficult to get up and move on a turkey unless you really know the terrain and can get behind things and move. And we do that occasionally, but the real secret, actually, not secret as I guess we could call it, is of hunting the Osceola is to determine where he is going to roost, where his pockets of strut are, and set up in those particular areas. We have fortunate for us, we have a palmetto here. We call the palm frond is the limb of the palmetto, and that makes an excellent blind material. 3 or 4 of those just stuck in the ground around you can be one of the finest blinds that you could put up, and it only takes seconds to do with some snippers and cut them, and we have those all around us at times. Then once you set this up and you sit down and call, in most cases, if you're not right on the bird, you're going to be close to him sooner or later. And if it sounds like that you'll not get the bird to you, then the best thing to do would be let him go and come back in the next morning, set your blind up in a different area where you think that turkey is located. Don't get up and walk and push to him. That's what happens in most cases here, and the turkeys move out of the area or get so tight they quit gobbling. But if you can just ease out of the pasture and come in later in the day when the turkeys have moved back into the swamps when it gets hot, set up a blind in a different spot and come back early the next morning, hunt him again. And that way the turkey will always stay active, he'll always be gobbling, but the more you start walking towards him when he's out in the field, and the more you put pressure on him, the less chance you're going to have to get him.
Gosh, we've been after these Osceolas for a while. I'll tell you, what a great feeling. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it.
Well, this thing's been really a tough turkey to hunt. He goes out the swamp one way and goes around the other way.
Yes,
and every
sir.
time we set up, and today we set up just right. There's a good indication of the Osceola in his dark wing, how the wing stripes don't connect to the quills and the light color.
Yeah, he looks a little different than an eastern bird. I'll tell you, that's what I'm used to hunting. And one thing I've noticed, look at the hooks on this guy. Look at those spurs.
That's a trophy. You think you might mount this one? Huh?
Yeah, I think so. I guarantee it.
This, one thing about the Osceola too, they don't get the real heavy beards as the easterns do. I don't know what this one would be. I imagine it's only, what, 9.5
I'm proud of it. It doesn't matter to me.
But look at the spurs. We're talking
Yes,
about a 4-year-old bird.
Yes, sir. It sure is. I appreciate all the opportunity, too. Thank you, Jim.
It was great. It was really fun hunting with you, and I'm glad we did it. Now you can maybe go home early, right?
Yes, sir. Wow, what a hunt that was. You know, the most important piece of equipment that a turkey hunter uses is the weapon that he chooses to carry. Whether he's bow or gun hunting, it's very important to know the effective range of that weapon. That's why we're out here patterning our shotguns, knowing how effective our gun is at 20, 30, even 40 yards. Know the maximum killing range of that weapon. Shoot different shot sizes, 4, 5s, and 6s. See what shoots best in your particular gun. Personally, I like to shoot number 4s because it gives me those extra couple yards where I can get about 40, 45 yards in my particular gun for effective killing range. With today's shotguns and extra full chokes, at close range it's just like shooting a rifle. That's why it's so important to get out and shoot at these turkey head and neck targets. Try to get at least 10 BBs in that vital zone. The head and neck is the only vital part of that wild turkey. Let's go see what my shotgun's gonna do. Well, this gun's shooting right on. That's 1 down and 3 to go for the Grand Slam.
You know, when you're hunting windy days, you need a little bit something else to reach out and touch those turkeys. A lot of times the old gobbler can't hear you when the wind's blowing real good. You may want to switch from a diaphragm call and go to a box call. Box calls seem to really travel well, and I honestly feel that most turkeys don't hear you on windy days. You know, a box call, you can do a lot of different things, make a lot of sounds in an excited hen. One of the first calls I like to make with a box call is a cluck. I usually do this when I'm sitting down, first sit down and start a series of calls. May have a bird closer than I think, and I'll start off with a cluck. Then after that, the next call I like to go with is a very loud, aggressive yelp. You want to keep the tempo up very fast like an excited hen. The next call I like to go to is a cackle. And this call works extremely well, especially if you can't get a bird to gobble. And a lot of times a hen, when she gets real excited, she'll cackle. And usually he'll gobble back if he can hear it. The last call I like to use on a box call is cutting. And cutting is a call that, believe me, if he's around, he will gobble at this call. And it's very important to keep the rhythm up real quick with this call, and you'll find out if there's a bird there, he'll gobble. If you don't, you may want to move on and go to another area.
Learning how to call turkeys is very important, but really understanding the turkey's vocabulary is the most important thing you should understand when spring gobbler hunting. Let's take a few minutes to talk a little bit about some of the hen turkey's vocabulary. You have to remember, in the springtime of the year, we're trying to reverse nature. The way nature has it, that gobbler, he stands on the tree or is out there gobbling, and he's trying to attract hens. While we're out there afield, we're trying to call, imitate hens, and bring those gobblers to us. The first call I want to talk about is the first call that a hen does in the spring. What she does, she wakes up and she's just letting other turkeys know where she's at, and she does what's called a tree call. Tree call is a very soft yelp, and this is what you as a hunter should start out with also. Let's go to some wild hen footage of a hen doing a tree call. Now here's what a tree call will sound like on a mouth call. And that hen starts to get a little bit more excited and the other turkeys start to wake up. The next call that she's probably going to do is a fly down cackle. And what a fly down cackle is just some real excited clucking as she pitches off the limb and hits the ground. Once that hen hits the ground, there's a variety of different calls that she might use. Yelping is probably the most common used call by the wild turkey. A yelp is a communication call. It kind of says, over here I am, or it can mean I'm lost, or it can signify mating. If you put a little bit of excitement, a little bit of faster rhythm, it can actually become a mating yelp. Here's what a mating yelp would sound like on a box call. Next to yelping, cutting is also a great call to use. Cutting is a hen when she's at her most excited point. Cutting just is some real sharp or aggressive clucking. Listen to these hens put some emotion in their calling. These are all calls that are longer distance calls and a lot of volume. Now let's say that gobbler gets in close. He's out there about 60 yards, just out of shotgun range. Now you want to soften your calling down a little bit with a softer call like a cluck and purr. A cluck and purr is a call that turkeys, gobblers, and hens use all the time while they're feeding through the woods. Just a real soft contentment type call. And this is what the cluck and purr would sound like on a friction type call. You know, down here in Texas, that wind picks up early in the morning. One thing I like to do is I like to use a little bit louder call. I like to use a glass call. The glass call is very easy to use, it's higher pitch, and it has a lot more volume. It carries your calls down through these wood pockets to get those gobblers going. The best way to do it is to stay about 50 yards out on from the edge of that woods, because those gobblers have been roosted in those trees. What we do is we work this woods line. About every 50 yards, I'll cut real loud or yelp real loud to try to get one of those birds to respond. Once I get that gobbler going, it's normal hunting tactics from then on. I like to get as close as I can, get a good, comfortable setup on him, start calling softly at first. If he doesn't respond, I'll go back into that aggressive calling. first Rio Grande. All right, there's the boss. All right, look at this baby. Man, what a bird. What a turkey. Nice little fan, all right. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like Rio Grande hunting in Texas. These Rio Grandes are pretty. Look at those tail feathers. I'll tell you the basic difference there between those and the eastern turkeys. Look how white or buff colored the tips of his tail and the feathers through his back are. What a beautiful turkey. I'll tell you this morning, what we did, we were right in the middle of about 7 or 8 turkeys, 2 big longbeards, and we had a lot of competition with the hens. I didn't want to call too much, I didn't want to spook any turkeys, so I just kept my calling real soft, not a lot of it, and let the turkeys do the work for me. A lot of times that's what you got to do, especially when the turkeys are bunched up like that and already roosted with their hens. Just a little bit of soft calling, keep their interest there, and wait for them to come into gun range. You know, staying organized is real hard to do in the turkey woods. We've all been sitting there by the tree calling to a turkey and he takes off the other way. We try to gather our stuff quick and go after him and we leave something laying behind. That's why I like to wear a turkey vest. With this vest, it has enough pockets that I can put all my calls and camouflage accessories, decoys, rain gear, whatever I need, there's enough room to keep it all there. Also, with this particular vest, comes a real good seat. It's a self-inflating air cushion that allows for many hours of sitting still and comfortable and also helps your patience. Another good reason I wear a vest, it keeps everything close to my body and keeps it quiet while I'm on the move. Talk about being quiet. This little Strut box call, it has a silencer plus device there. What that does, that holds the lid of the call away from the calling surface. This way there's no unexpected noises when walking through the woods. Start yelping. Don't let this little call fool you. It has a high pitch and a lot of volume that can carry a long way. Ever since I was a young man, my father has taken me turkey hunting. I was about 6 years old the first time that I went to the woods. One important thing that he taught me, he always used to say, Matt, every time you enter the woods, you want to leave with something. And I always thought every time I'd see him come home with that big gobbler in the back of the truck, I thought he meant leaving the woods with a 20-pound gobbler over his shoulder. And that's not what he meant. He meant becoming a good turkey hunter is also learning about the game that you're hunting. Every time you go to the woods, gaining knowledge on something that happened, making a mistake and learning from that. That's an important part of being a good turkey hunter. Traveling throughout this country, doing turkey hunting shows, seminars, I get to turkey hunt about 3-4 weeks a year, and turkey hunters really stick together. And I think it's very important, and I stress this at every seminar that I do, that being an ethical hunter is very important. Everybody needs to unite together, because if you're going to be the one that's out there hunting past noon when it's not allowed, or trespassing on that farmer's field without asking permission, you're going to ruin it for everyone. Turkey hunters and all hunters alike have to obey the game laws, have to obey hunting hours. It's very important to ensure this sport for future generations. American wild turkey has made a remarkable comeback from almost non-existent in the early 1960s to now in the 90s where we have a huntable population of turkeys in 49 of the 50 states. That's unbelievable. And that's all attributed to you, the turkey hunter, the guy who buys that hunting license, spends that money that gets recycled back into the program of habitat restorations and also restocking programs. You know, it's not a right to be a turkey hunter, it's a privilege. And that's why I'm proud to be a turkey hunter, and you should be too. Now let's get back to some more exciting turkey hunting action. comes the hens right to the right, there they come. Comes around the other side. Man, what a hunt. I'll tell you what, we were covered up. Those hens came in, we had to be motionless. The gobbler was right on their tail, he followed them in there. The hens came to our calling. I'll tell you, there's nothing like hunting these big North Missouri eastern gobblers. Look at the beard on this turkey. I'll tell you, it doesn't get any better than this. Gobbler all morning was here in this field with those two hens. He wasn't leaving those two hens to come into our calling. Finally, those hens broke, they came into our calling, that brought him right behind. Sometimes just being patient is the most important thing, and never give up on one of those turkeys when he's right out there gobbling. A lot of people, they walk off and try to find another bird. If you're patient and stick in there, a lot of times that bird will break and come your way.
Matt Morrett now steps up to the plate and he digs in. Morrett batting .286 against left-handers. The infield's going to play him in, try to cut the runoff at the plate here with only one down. The bases are jammed. Osceola on third, Rio the runner on second, and Easter takes a couple of steps off first. The outfield playing straight away. Lefty Woods throws the rubber. He's elected to pitch from the windup here with the bases loaded. He wheels and deals high for a ball one. Sitting, shut it off with a strikeout, and then singles to Osceola and Rio, then a walk to Eastern as loaded things up here for Lefty Woods and the Merriams. Here's the 1-0. It's swung on and hit deep out into left field, back towards Wilson, back, it's foul, home run, grand slam to Morrett.
First Rio Grande. Comes around the other side. Well, here we are on the final leg of the Grand Slam here in the rolling prairies of South Dakota. We're out here on this prairie. This isn't where we're going to find the turkeys. We need to get down there in that creek bottom where those big trees are, where those turkeys are roosted. Let's go see if we can find some of those turkey roosts. Now we're in this river bottom that we looked at from atop that hill. I'll tell you, right here is where the turkeys are going to be. There's plenty of trees for those birds to roost in, there's water, there's food. And now I'm not saying that those Merriams don't get on these prairies, they do. And I've seen 25 up to 75 turkeys together in a flock. Merriams like to group up together. I've seen 10, 12 gobblers together also. That's not very uncommon. But right here is where we want to start our hunt. You know, using a decoy can be a very effective method in turkey hunting, especially here in South Dakota. The Merriams, they're grouped up together, 25, 30 turkeys together, 10 gobblers with them. You might have 50 birds in a group, and that's 100 eyes looking at you. And the more eyes you have, the more you have to be still. The more chances are that something can go wrong. That's where good camouflage pays off once again. Being still, keep your movement to a minimum. What I like to do, I like to put that decoy out about 20 yards in front of me. Just take those turkeys' attention off of me doing the calling sitting by a tree and puts it on what they think is a real live turkey. This particular decoy, the wind will make it blow around and it looks a lot more lifelike. Sit along the tree line, get yourself in the shadows, and this will make your chances a lot better. You know, the mouth call is a great call to use turkey hunting. I'll tell you what, it leaves your hands free to be on your shotgun, and there's hardly any movement involved while using the call. A lot of people have trouble using the mouth call, but let me give you a few tips. The first thing is, get that call comfortable in the roof of your mouth. The comfort and the seal is the most important thing in using this call. After that comfort, after you have a good seal, then you start trying to make a sound. You lay your tongue on the latex, breathe air from your own diaphragm across those latex reeds, and just try to make a noise. Try not to make a turkey sound at first. After you start getting noise out of your call, the best thing to do is get yourself an audio cassette with some real turkey sounds and try to imitate those calls. Some of the best calls for spring gobbler hunting are probably yelping and cutting. Here's what yelping sounds like, and I'm putting a little bit of emotion into it to sound like an excited hen. Cutting is a hen when she's at her most excited point, and all it is real fast clucking. It sounds something like this. What a turkey. Merriams, whew, finally. The Grand Slam, the last one. I'll tell you, I'm proud. Dad sure would be proud if he was here right now to see this one. I'll tell you, can't wait to go home and hunt with him in Pennsylvania next week. Boy, he got a nice beard on him. Pretty good spurs. He's probably a 2-year-old turkey, but he's a heavy bird, probably 22, 23 pounds. Look at the saddle there. It's real buff colored. He's a little bit darker than most Merriams. Most Merriams have almost a white color in their saddle there and along their tail, but he'll tell you, he's a pretty turkey. Well, here we are, 4 states, 4 subspecies, 4,000 miles later, the Grand Slam. Man, what a challenge. If you're going to plan a trip to hunt the Grand Slam, I'd like to make one recommendation. That would be not to try to do it all in 1 year. Give yourself plenty of time to enjoy each different subspecies and each different terrain type that you may hunt. Now I'd like to take the time to thank you for coming along with me in Cutt'N and Strut'N through spring. And on behalf of Hunter Specialties, I'm Matt Morrett. Look for me again soon on another HS Strut spring turkey hunting video. Yes! Rio Grande. Comes around the other side. Not all turkey calls are created equal.
Matt Morrett on the importance of a good diaphragm turkey call.
It has to fit in for form. When I want to cut, I need it now. And when I want to yelp, tone is critical. I'm telling you guys, HS Strut's Gold Premium line of calls sound better than the real thing. Now that'll fool a big gobbler, and yes, you can.
For sportsmen, by sportsmen, Hunter Specialties.
You know, there's nothing more exciting than watching a big old boss gobbler work into the call. Hi, I'm Tom Miranda, host of Outdoor Adventure Magazine, as seen on ESPN. With turkey hunting season right around the corner, the time to gear up is now. So I thought I'd take a little bit of time to introduce you to the Hunter Specialties HS Strut line of turkey hunting accessories. You know, the pride and joy possession of any turkey hunter is his turkey calls, and HS Strut's line of calls are the best available. HS Strut's diaphragm line includes many models, all made from quality latex, which is precision cut and machine stretched to exact tolerances. This process ensures uniformity and makes these diaphragms the easiest calls to blow. Choose from single, double, and multiple reed, all designed to recreate the actual sounds of the wild turkey. To ensure the future of hunting by bringing a young person into the field with you, Hunter Specialties has 2 calls especially downsized for the younger caller. The HS Strut Premium Flex Youth Special Double D diaphragm call has 2 ultra-thin reeds which are locked into perfect pitch. The new Youth Raspy Premium Flex Double Diaphragm also has 2 extra thin split reeds which produce the most realistic sounds of a raspy hen. Both calls have a standard frame with smaller tape size for youngsters' comfort. As with all HS calls, these youth diaphragms come with complete instructions to help your young person start a lifetime involvement in hunting. The Strut line also includes friction calls, such as the double slate over glass and the triple glass, both used and endorsed by 5-time world friction calling champion MATT MORRETT. The Gold Premium Little Strut Box Call is the newest box call and features Silencer Plus, a patented device that locks the paddle into silent position. This box call is smaller than most, so it fits in a pocket and produces a higher pitched call sound which really reaches out. Little Strut's versatility in the field is unmatched, and when coupled with the friction calls and diaphragms, truly rounds out the highest quality turkey call line in the industry. HS Strut's Full Strut Combo Vest is without question the Cadillac of turkey hunting vests available today. It includes 6 separate pockets with individual compartments to hold everything from calls to shotgun shells, keeping everything organized. Its large, detachable game pouch is blood-proof and provides cool comfort. The vest includes a snap-on, snap-off fluorescent orange flag for safety after you've bagged your gobbler. Also included with the Full Strut Combo Vest is the HS Self-Inflating Bun Saver. This air-filled cushion features an expandable belt to give you a quick, comfortable seat every time you sit down. And when you're on the move, it's out of your way. Being comfortable helps keep you still, relaxed, and patient, which are key ingredients to a successful turkey hunt. The Full Strut Combo Vest is available in Realtree All-Purpose Brown, All-Purpose Gray, and Bill Jordan's new Advantage Camo in sizes from small to triple extra large. Let's face it, all turkey hunters carry calls and equipment to the field. But one simple way to organize this equipment and keep it belt loop close is with the HS Mag Pouch. 2 separate zipper pockets, the larger with 2 separate compartments, organize everything you need for a successful hunt. Striker and shotgun shell loops add to the convenience of the HS Mag Pouch. You'll use it again for bow hunting, black powder hunting. In fact, you'll probably never be in the woods without it. Another vital accessory to protect you in the woods is the HS Strut Safety Game Bag. This blood-proof and washable bag is made of durable safety orange nylon and allows you to carry the largest bird or other game comfortably on your back. The innovative adjustable cord and 2-inch shoulder straps leave your arms and hands totally free. When not in use, the safety game bag will fold up easily to fit in your jacket pocket or mag pouch. The Hunter Specialty Camo Division also has the turkey hunter covered with a complete line of camo accessories. Dot grip gloves provide camouflage for hands, and the beaded palms and fingers provide added grip for calls, gun, and the protection of the hand. The famous HS 3/4 face mask has been praised by turkey hunters across the country. Easy to pull up or take off, the 3/4 face mask hides hunters' faces from the sharp eyes of a gobbler while giving unrestricted vision, breathing, and comfort with a stay-put adjustable nose bridge that many other face masks just don't provide. For full-body camo, it's the HS Portable Blind that gets the job done. Weighing only 1.3 pounds and quick to set up, the portable blind provides great cover in any terrain type. All Hunter Specialties camo products are available in Realtree, America's most versatile camo pattern. Well, there you have it. Just a sample of Hunter Specialties' top-of-the-line products for the turkey hunter. all available here or at other fine retail outlets. So don't settle for less when it comes to your turkey hunting gear this spring. Use the best from HS Strut. Work equipment can be as simple as a rope or as high-tech as a fighter jet. But the right equipment is essential in doing the best job. Like HS Strut's full strut combo vest. With 6 pockets to carry everything you need, zip-off blood-proof game bag, bun saver for comfort, and snap-on safety orange. The full strut combo vest is definitely the right equipment for the job.
Sportsman Hunter Specialties.